G'day and welcome to the Harley Roadshow. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're regular, welcome back. Well, we're down here again at Ghost Riders in Hoppers Crossing for another bike build. This time, it's a 2010 Softail Standard. Let's go in, check it out, have a chat to Romy and see what's going to happen with this one. So, we're back again with Romy from Ghost Riders, as I said. So, what are we doing this week?
This week, it's demolishing. Demolishing week. We're going to put apart another bike.
Yep.
We start another project of rebuilding a Softail from ground up. We're going to strip it right down to bare nothing. Pull the motor apart, pull the gearbox apart, pull the transmission apart, pull everything apart. We'll bring it down to bare frame, sandblast the frame, repair the frame, and basically rebuild the part, 3/4 of the bike out of aftermarket stuff. We're not going to use, we're going to keep out of the original bike, we're going to keep the frame, we're going to keep the swing arm, we're going to keep the aluminium in the engine block, and we're going to keep the aluminium on the gearbox case, and we're going to keep the primary covers, and that's pretty much it. And obviously we're going to keep the tank and the rear guard, which they're going to be repainted and airbrushed. Yep. But that's pretty much it. The rest gets replaced.
So what sort of style are we doing?
Well, the style is customer wants to build something in black and brass. Yep. But a bit towards modern, not necessarily vintage. Yep. So to be honest, it's an interesting project for me. I have pretty much all the engine and driveline figured out. We have the wheels. We have most of the assemblies which they related with the transmission. We have the handlebars. We have the front suspension, which is it's completely upgraded. We just haven't figured out yet a few details in relation with the design of the paint. Okay. So what we're trying to do first, we're going to build it, make it as a rolling chassis, assemble the motor, put it all together, and then we're going to look at it and we're going to see what
the end result's going to be,
where the road is going to take us, because we, instead of designing something from scratch and maybe at the end we'll think that maybe certain things that should have been done different. Yep. We rather, I like to work that way, build something and modify it as it goes, and just build it grows as I'm building it, instead of deciding before I'm actually starting how the project is going to finish. And sometimes towards the end you think, oh, I should have done that a bit different, and should have, it usually the way I'm doing it takes longer. Yep. Because
it's more fluid.
It is more fluid, but it takes longer because you have to stop, and then you have to think, and then you have to order parts. Yep. When if you decide from the start how you build a project, obviously you just start and do it, and you're doing it, you get everything together, and you just pull the bike apart, reassemble the bike, it's out the door. Yep. Obviously it's quicker.
So what do you think, how long do you think this is going to take in ballpark?
Probably about 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months, okay.
Yeah.
Now you said you already got the wheels, didn't you?
Yep.
Can we have a look at those?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
It just came not long ago from the States.
And these are from Ride Right, yeah?
Yeah, Ride Right.
Look at that.
It's a really, really good quality product. No, it's actually the front wheel. Yep. And yeah, as you see, we've already looked at it, make sure it's all safe. And
what size wheel is this one?
This is a 23-inch front.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to go 23.
Yep.
Black and brass, custom designed to suit a particular application. We'll do custom built for us by Ride Right. We will the same. It looks similar.
So as you can see, guys, this is going to be one hell of a good looking bike. So let's get into it. Let's start stripping it down, and stay tuned for more episodes, because this is going to be a fantastic build to watch. We're going to take an ugly duckling and turn it into maybe not a beautiful swan, but a good looking motorbike anyway. Let's go. This is how you'd normally do it, like with sticky tape like this?
Is the Harley Davidson recommended procedure? This is the bush version.
It's like, looks really like professional the way it's been done.
Should be alright, mate. Yeah. Leave it with me.
So just finish off pulling the tank apart. What colour do you reckon we're going to do this?
Will be black. Will be black for sure.
Yep.
And we'll decide what we're gonna do with. Will be some sort of a pinstripe or airbrushing gun on it. We're still debating about it with the customer. We exchanging ideas, but realistically, we really have to make the bike a rolling chassis first. Put the motor together, and the motor will have very heavy modifications done to it. Plus, we're gonna paint the block, and it'll be all custom paint and all that. So, when all that comes together as a rolling chassis, then we'll probably have a better understanding which way we should go.
You don't reckon you should keep it like this?
Why do you like it?
Sorry, I'm just trying to. Alrighty, so we're up to stripping down the motor, correct?
Yep. We're down to the motor and driveline. Drop the fluids and start stripping down the monster.
So even with this here, we're going to...
All that is going to be painted black.
Yep.
Ceramic coated. Everything. The motor is all natural aluminium at this point.
Yep.
It will end up being black, shiny black. So yeah, it's a lot of preparation involved. We're going to have to pull the motor out, strip it down, and modify the engine block to allow for. We're going to put a 124 cube kit in it. So
what is it at the moment?
It's a 96 cube.
Yep.
So we're gonna make it a 124. We have to bore the block and also modify the bottom end.
Has it had any modifications done?
No, it's stock
standard now.
It's pretty much stock standard. Yeah. The only thing, it has a stage 1 exhaust and intake. Pretty much. That's it. Yeah. Just the basic standard motor.
So all this here is going to be blacked?
Yep. All that is going to be black.
Like a shiny black or
shiny black?
Shiny
yes.
black.
Yep.
And all these here too, yeah?
Yep, and the motor and everything, the engine block, the whole lot.
And then we'll do what, brass accents and stuff and that on it?
Yep.
Same as the wheels?
Yeah, we'll be with brass accents. Yeah, that's right. We're going to build it. This is going to be black and brass.
Gearbox is off.
And now we're doing the motor.
See, Sam? Gearbox is off, you see? See that? It's only 4 bolts there. This is Sam.
Hi.
Sam never knew there was 4 bolts. I knew that because I'm like a specialist in this sort of stuff.
That's it.
Okay, so just explain what you're explaining to me just then.
We're talking about the cylinder heads studs.
Yep.
How important they are for the integrity of the motor.
Yep. Because you were saying that they sort of got some flex in the actual...
Yeah, they do. They especially the performance ones, they're designed to flex a bit.
Yep.
And they behave like, if you can compare it, like a spring.
Yep.
It's not quite, I wouldn't describe it as a spring, but it has the same logic behind it.
Yep.
So it pulls the whole system very tight together.
Yep.
So it's critically important to tie it by specifications. So
yep.
Everything stays tight together. So the actual rod flexes a bit.
Yep.
And just allows that extra pull on the head to.
So you were saying you can actually over tighten it. You mightn't snap it, but you take the elasticity out of the actual steel itself.
Yeah, that usually happens with genuine studs, which they're made out of a more inferior material. The high performance ones, they actually snap if you over tighten them.
Yep.
But the original ones, because they're made from more inferior materials, they basically start stretching if you keep on tightening without using the correct torque on the wrench.
Yep.
They start stretching and then they lose their elasticity, so you basically don't have a correct tightness on the cylinder.
So up to getting the wiring off, correct?
Yes, we just down to the last connector.
Yep. And we're done?
With the wiring, yes. There you go.
all gone.
The brains of the bike and the spinal cord.
As you can see, there's not much left out. So now, you mentioned before, and I'm going to ask you about you said this had a stage 3 put in it, yeah?
Yep.
And so with the stage 3, so in layman's terms, because there's going to be a lot of guys watching this that a lot of them are going to know, and some of them aren't going to know. So stage 1 is your...
The stage 1 is generally accepted as intake and exhaust upgrade.
Slip-ons or?
Slip-ons or full system.
Yep.
It's still accepted as stage 1, depending on the preference.
Yep.
And a dyno, a flash tune or a dyno tune, depending on customer's preference, how accurate he wants the tune to be done.
Yep.
Stage 2, it's an upgrade from stage 1, which involves cams.
Yep.
So you put a bigger lift cam with more duration to let the motor breathe.
And is that, you said something about lifters and that as well, is that?
Lifters, yeah, well, lifters and push rods is something that we do as a cautionary thing, because when you put extra lift on the stock lifters, sometimes you can have the surprise of having issues with lifters failing.
Yep.
And we upgrade the push rods because it, as most of people out there know, it's much cheaper for the customer to do it with adjustable push rods instead of demolishing the whole motor.
Yep.
And yeah, so that's but basically the actual upgrade for motor performance is the cam on stage 2.
And stage 3?
And stage 3 usually it's a variance of stage 2, which adds on pistons.
Yep.
So you still use a fairly mild cam, maybe most likely a different grind for high compression motors. With the stage 3, basically you got a wider area, so wider perspective when you can choose your setup.
Yep.
Because when you change pistons, obviously some people go big bore, put a slightly bigger piston, and then obviously that allows a bit different cam. And but normally the stage 3, if you're not buying it as a Screaming Eagle setup off the shelf bolt-on kit from Harley, and you go different brands aftermarket, then from stage 3 onwards, you usually, if it's not a bolt-on kit again, if it's a bolt-on kit, it's a bolt-on kit. But if it's not a bolt-on kit, you really need to talk with a specialist.
Yep. That's what I've got to ask you. Which way change the suspension to you, to the Legend?
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna put air suspension on it.
Yep. In there, so I got the Legend air suspension on my bike, which I love. I'm a big fan of it. So I know I've done a couple of videos on it, but I just think they're one of the best products. I was just saying before, probably the best upgrade I put on the bike as far as comfort and handling the whole bit goes. I reckon it's fantastic. Is this going to be adjustable on the fly too as well?
Yep.
So the whole lot.
It's pretty much the same setup. Yep. It's just a different looking suspension because the Softail is not a tourer, but the whole works and principle behind it works the same way.
Yep.
It is really good because you can adjust the suspension setting as you ride.
Yes, that's what I love.
Based on the road conditions or
pillion, no pillion, luggage, no luggage, everything.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I reckon it's one of the best products. Me personally, I reckon one of the best products going around. It's changed the whole feel of the bike.
It's good. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you're happy. It's definitely a good product. Yeah.
Plus, they've got a lifetime warranty too, I think, haven't they? Or
they have a lifetime warranty for the extra suspension.
Yep.
And for all the electrical parts, they have 1 year warranty.
Yep.
As any other product. But the suspension itself, yes, it does have a lifetime warranty. Yes.
Yeah. And like I said, guys, if you're going to look at any sort of suspension, I would definitely look at that Legend air suspension. I don't get paid anything for it. This is not like a promotional thing for it, but just for me personally,
it's good. Yeah.
Very, very good product. Really good.
I got the same on mine too.
Yeah. No, love it. Okay, so here we are, the end. Well, nearly the end result. This has still got to come off, but that's going to be pretty boring. But so everything's out. We've got the motor on the bench, gearbox. So what do we do now, Romy?
Well, now we will take the front end complete off the bike.
Yep.
Because none of those parts are going to be reused.
Yep.
We have a completely new.
So the only thing we're going to reuse is?
We're going to reuse the frame.
Yep.
We got the swing arm.
Yep.
And we will reuse the tank and the guard, as you see there. They're already ready to go to the painters.
Yep.
And we will reuse the aluminium, the actual engine block, the aluminium, which is going to be bored to accommodate bigger cylinders for the 124 kit, and also is going to be modified for the Timken conversion that we talked before, and the aluminium case for the gearbox, which gets a 6-speed Baker gearbox upgrade.
Okay, yep.
The customer wanted to make sure that these gearboxes, the stock ones, they have the third gear is pretty weak on them.
Yep.
So they do have a bad habit of throwing the third gear if you give it a hard time, and the engine that we're building, it's pretty much a monster. It'll be pretty strong. So the customer didn't want to take any chances, so we will upgrade the gearbox first. We already have the gearbox, we just have to, basically we're going to strip it down now, do all the mods that we have to do, and then we send it to the painters. The engine block will be painted shiny black, which is my personal preference. The customer just wants it black, but we could have just ceramic coated black and bring it back to the original sort of wrinkled. But I think this bike deserves a bit extra.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we will go one step forward, and there is a special type of paint, a special type of formula that we put together with painter, which we're going to use, which is it gives it an extraordinarily glossy finish, and also holds up to temperature, because that's, for Harleys, it's important. So yeah, we'll see how it's going to come out.
Exciting times ahead. Like I said, I really hope you guys are enjoying this series, because I think it's going to. For me so far, it's been really good, and all we've really done is pulled the bikes apart. Once all the good shit starts happening, like we start putting,
we're already.
A lot of the parts are here. I'm not going to show you the parts yet, because we want to. We'll do some unboxings, but suffice to say, there is some absolute monster stuff going in these bikes, and it's going to look fantastic. So guys, stay tuned. There's heaps to do, heaps to come. This one especially, I'm really looking forward to. I'm already loving the whole black and brass look. I reckon it's going to look fantastic. So stay tuned. We'll catch you next time on the Harley Roadshow. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.